Lift up your eyes on high, and see who has created these things, who brings out their host by number. He calls them all by name. By the greatness of his might and the strength of his power, not one is missing. Isaiah 40:26. Before the invention of telescopes, man counted the stars he could see with his naked eye and concluded there were exactly 5,110 stars. No more. But for centuries the Bible had stated, "The host of heaven cannot be numbered." Jeremiah 33:22. Today, as we swing our giant telescopes toward the heavens, we discover that many of those tiny dots of light twinkling in the sky are not just stars, but whole galaxies made up of millions of blazing suns like our own. And surrounding those innumerable suns are numberless planets traveling through space together. As you look at the Milky Way, you are looking at the edge of our own galaxy, a star system shaped like a saucer. Astronomer Fritz Kahn says, "Our home in the universe is a spiral of 200 billion stars, a unit of suns whirling through space like a fiery pinwheel." Wonder Worlds, Chapter 2. Every 24 hours our galaxy travels 1.5 million miles through space at more than 66,000 miles per hour. Feel a little tired? The huge 200-inch Hale reflector on Palomar Mountain can see as many as 1 million galaxies inside the bowl of the Big Dipper alone. National Geographic. And the Super Hubble telescope has been able to make even the above statistics obsolete. The discoveries made by this telescope have cast serious doubts on the scientific guesses made in the past years. Scientists have now detected light that started on its way through space 38 billion light-years ago, which only proves that, just as time is endless, space has no limits. Inconceivable? So it seems. Yet God gave an illustration that helps us comprehend a little better the immensity of it all. God once took Abraham outdoors and challenged him to count the stars. God said, "Look up at the heavens and count the stars, if indeed you can count them." Then he added, "So shall your offspring be." Genesis 15:5. Recently an astronomer said that if you could count all the grains of sand on all the seashores in the world, you would have approximately the same number of grains of sand as there are stars in the heavens. The next time you're at the beach, try counting a bucketful of sand. Better allow plenty of time. Is it any wonder that King David said, "When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained, what is man, but thou art mindful of him?" Psalm 8:3-4. Have you ever wondered if a powerful God who rules and sustains such a vast universe is actually concerned with man and his problems here on earth? Yet Jesus said that not even a sparrow falls to the ground that God does not notice. So don't be afraid, he said. You are worth more than many sparrows. Matthew 10:31. And to emphasize even more God's love and care, Jesus said, "Even the very hairs of your head are all numbered." Matthew 10:30. What a God! What right does the God of the Christians have to claim that he should be worshipped by everyone exclusively? The God of the Bible and Christianity claims that he is entitled to our worship and devotion because he is the Creator God. If he is what he claims, and he is the Creator, then he does deserve our worship. When John the Revelator was in vision on the Isle of Patmos, he was shown a scene in the heavenly throne room. Notice what he saw. The 24 elders fell down before him who sits on the throne, and worship him who lives forever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, "You are worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things, and by your will they exist and were created." Revelation 4:10-11. These elders before the throne of God are praising and worshiping him because he is the Creator. This is the same reason we should worship the God of heaven above. He is the one who made the world and all of us. But you say, what evidence do we have that he is the Creator? God himself tells us that there is evidence all around us that he is our Maker. In Romans 1:20, his eternal power and deity have been clearly perceived in the things that have been made. Since creation, there has been evidence in the creation that God is the maker of all these things. When Robinson Crusoe discovered fresh footprints in the wet sand, he knew there was another person on the island, even though he had not seen the person. If one print of a bare foot in the sand is absolute proof of the existence and presence of a human being, what are we to think when we see the prints of the Master's shoes, as John Bunyan calls them, covering the whole world? Does God exist? Page 5. The Father was not alone in his work of creation. The Bible tells us about his partners. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. And we beheld his glory, the glory of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John 1:1-3 and 14. This was Jesus, as he cooperated with the Father to create everything. Ephesians 3:9 says, "Of the mystery that from the beginning of the ages has been hidden in God, who created all things through Jesus Christ." Every good and perfect gift that man has ever had, or will ever have, came into being as these two united to give the human race all of the blessings available. Not only did God make man in his image and give him a beautiful universe to live in, but he is also mindful of man's needs. The eyes of all look to you, and you give them their food at the proper time. You open your hand and satisfy the desires of every living thing. Psalm 145:15-16. Let's take a look at just a few of the ways God cares for the needs of his creatures. Consider the water you drink. It's older than the pyramids, as old as the hills. Water may be polluted by chemicals or wastes, but let the sun evaporate or lift it into the atmosphere, and it becomes clean and usable again and again, distributed by the rain, dew, or snow. What a tremendous water system God designed. And there is God's great power plant in the sky, our sun. Think for a moment. If the sun were a little bigger or a little closer to Earth, our oceans would boil away. If the sun were just a little smaller or a little farther away, the atmosphere would freeze. Either way, life could not exist on Earth. But God not only created all things, he sustains all things.